The private club, Vellum, was the epitome of exclusivity. Nestled atop a towering skyscraper, its marble floors and velvet drapes whispered opulence, while its membership roster read like a who's who of power and wealth. The dimly lit space buzzed with low conversations and the clink of crystal glasses. At the bar, lounging with the kind of ease that turned heads, was Kiara, a Siren, whose presence made even the wealthiest men feel like they were waiting in line. She'd chosen her outfit carefully, a black silk dress with a slit that hinted at the promise of curves beneath. Her lips, painted a rich scarlet, curled into a knowing smile as her emerald eyes scanned the room. Tonight, she wasn't hunting, she was waiting. And soon enough, he appeared. Dr. Nathaniel Clarke was one of the city's most renowned surgeons. Wealthy, brilliant, and meticulous, he had a reputation for perfection and a penchant for collecting rare and exquisite things. He prided himself on acquiring what others could not, whether it was a piece of art, a rare vintage car, or the affections of the most unattainable women. Kiara had heard of him, of course. Men like Nathaniel always made themselves known. What had drawn her attention was their brief encounter at a gala weeks ago, where he had dismissed her with a subtle yet telling arrogance. Beautiful, but predictable, he'd said to a mutual acquaintance, as though her allure was a commodity he had already catalogued. It was the kind of slight Kiara didn't forget. Tonight, she would remind him that even collectors could be outmatched. Nathaniel noticed her almost immediately. He was seated in a corner booth, surrounded by admirers, but his attention was drawn to the bar. Kiara didn't acknowledge him at first, swirling her cocktail lazily, as though the world beyond her glass didn't exist. Eventually, curiosity got the better of him. Leaving his entourage behind, Nathaniel approached, his steps confident. "Enjoying the evening?" he asked, his voice smooth. Kiara's eyes flicked up to meet his. She let the silence stretch just long enough for him to feel it before responding. "I was. And you?" Nathaniel chuckled. "I am now. Do you mind if I join you?" Kiara gestured to the empty seat beside her. "If you can make it worth my time." He raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "And how might I do that?" Her lips curved into a smile. "Surprise me." They talked, their conversation a careful dance of flirtation and challenge. Nathaniel, accustomed to being the one in control, found himself drawn deeper into Kiara's orbit. She listened intently, but offered little, her mystery only fueling his determination. "You're not like the others here," he said at one point, leaning closer. "And you're exactly like them," she countered, her tone playful but edged with truth. He laughed, undeterred. "I'll take that as a compliment." "It wasn't," she said, sipping her drink. "But you're interesting enough to keep me here, so that's something." Nathaniel's jaw tightened, but he masked it with a smile. "I'd like to see more of you." "Dinner, perhaps?" Kiara tilted her head, feigning consideration. "Dinner is easy, and I don't do easy." His intrigue deepened. "Then tell me what you do." Her gaze met his, unflinching. "I inspire effort. Let's see what you're capable of, Dr. Clarke." The next day, Nathaniel received a note delivered to his office. Written in elegant script, it read, "If you want to prove you're worth my time, acquire something truly rare and extraordinary. Meet me at Vellum tomorrow night, and don't disappoint." Nathaniel's mind raced. He spent the next 24 hours scouring his contacts, finally acquiring a one-of-a-kind sapphire necklace, a piece renowned for its craftsmanship and history. When he presented it to Kiara the following evening, she examined it with a discerning eye. "Beautiful," she said, running her fingers over the stones. Then, her gaze locked on his. "But beauty without meaning is just another thing. Why did you choose it?" Nathaniel hesitated. "Because it reminded me of you." Kiara smiled, pleased but unimpressed. "You'll need to do better than flattery, Nathaniel. But I'll keep it as a reminder of what you're working toward." Over the following weeks, Nathaniel's pursuit of Kiara became an obsession. She challenged him at every turn, demanding not just gifts, but acts of devotion. She had him fund a scholarship program for underprivileged students pursuing medicine, sponsor an exclusive art exhibit in her name, and commission a custom portrait of her from a renowned artist. Each act brought him closer, but never close enough. Kiara rewarded his efforts sparingly. A lingering touch, a whispered word of praise, a fleeting smile that left him craving more. One evening, after a particularly extravagant display, a donation to a charity gala she hosted, Nathaniel confronted her. "What is this, Kiara?" he asked, his voice raw. "You have everything I've given, and yet you still hold me at arm's length." Kiara stepped closer, her hand brushing his cheek. "Do you know why collectors like you fascinate me, Nathaniel?" she murmured. "Because you think ownership equates to value. But true worth isn't about possession. It's about proving you're worthy to stand in the presence of something extraordinary." The final test came in the form of an invitation. Kiara had arranged a private viewing at an exclusive auction house. Among the pieces was a sculpture she'd long admired, a rare masterpiece said to embody the spirit of seduction itself. "If you truly want to impress me," she told Nathaniel, "you'll make it yours. But know this, owning it won't make you my equal. It will only prove that you're willing to try." Nathaniel didn't hesitate. The bidding war was fierce, but he emerged victorious, securing the piece for an astronomical sum. When the sculpture was delivered to Kiara's home, she greeted him with a smile that spoke of triumph. "You've done well," she said, her voice soft. "But remember, Nathaniel, devotion isn't about what you acquire. It's about what you're willing to give." As he left her that night, Nathaniel realized he would spend the rest of his life trying to earn her approval. And Kiara, ever the Siren, knew she had added another prized piece to her collection. A man who would forever strive to prove his worth, bound by her allure and the unshakable need to please her.